This is David with Patch Turned Up, and we're here on our Facebook Live broadcast along with our podcast. Today, this is show number 50 with Help Desk with Joe. I'm here with Joe and Justin, and pretty exciting day as show 50 brings a lot into what we've been doing, and along with being able to have our show live, which we really appreciate. So thank you for joining us for show number 50. Joe?
Yes, sir.
Bicentennial.
Did you think we'd survive this long?
Oh, I knew we would. It's just amazing how they add up.
Well, okay, the next question is, do you think anybody would actually listen to us this long?
Well, that might be the better question.
I think Justin's the reason that it's giving us a little bit of validity here.
Yeah. So, Justin, and for folks out there that aren't aware, this is show 50, but really it's a lot more than that because we've done this on many different formats, from just Facebook Live to podcast, just to some radio stuff, and now we're on this format of podcasting with Facebook Live here out of Spencer, West Virginia. So we're excited about that. But we got about 8 years under our belt of this type of broadcast and Help Desk with Joe.
Yeah, and I mean we have grown and expanded so much. Because we used to do a show and it would be like just a quick tech tip or just a product review, and we've actually expanded our show. And
so now you get the 3 news updates for each week, along with either a product review or something along those lines. But,
and our show survived 2020, which that should get us a medal right there.
That's amazing in itself. Let me just tell you. All right, well, start us off right. I know you got some stuff with Microsoft. We're going to give us a couple updates with Microsoft. Why don't we start with Microsoft Office update?
All right. So Justin, I know you have an iPhone, but do you have an iPad?
Nope, I do not.
Okay. Well, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I've never been much of a, tablet or pad kind of guy. Either just use my phone or a computer, one or the other. I don't really mess with much in between.
You're probably one of those, if you would ever get one, then you'd realize, like, I've been doing myself a disservice for this long.
I don't know.
Ignorance is bliss. So.
I don't like the tablet just because you can't type on it very well.
Right.
Now, if I had one with a keyboard, but then you got to pack it on the keyboard, I just don't. I don't know.
Actually, my sister got a new iPad, and she got a case that had basically like a laptop setup, had the little touchpad with the mouse.
My point is, why not just get a laptop then?
It's lighter and easier. Well, with what she does, she's a school teacher, so with what she does, it makes her job much easier. I'm
sure in certain applications it probably is okay, but I don't know.
I mean, with my job, a tablet's not an option, but now I do find that there are times, like now, when we do security camera installs for customers, I do find that when I'm setting the cameras up and trying to look and see where the cameras are, a tablet is much easier to carry around than it is a laptop, and less likely to drop it and do damage that way.
Yeah, I can see if you're walking around a lot with whatever it is, then yeah. Well, let me rephrase. Walking around while using it.
Right, there you go. So Microsoft has finally unified the Office experience on iPad. So Microsoft Office, with their Office Online, Office 365, and all that stuff, they had an app for Android for quite a while. It just said Microsoft Office, and you'd open it up, and then it'd have your Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and all that.
Right.
With the iPad, you had to go download all those individually. So Microsoft has finally boxed it all together, put a nice little package as an all-in-one app called Microsoft Office, and it's available now on the iPad. It's been available it's been almost a year since they have announced that they was going to do this, so it's been almost a year to the day that they have talked about and finally have it out and available for iPad. So if you are an Office 365 subscriber or have an Office license that allows you to install it on your iPad, you now have one app that you can download and handle all your Microsoft Office needs.
Huh.
So that's different than the iPhone in terms of the apps that you would use, or same thing on a phone as a iPad?
Well, I think they're pointing more towards the iPad market, since I'm assuming most of their users are iPad users versus using on the iPhone. Mm-hmm. But something I just didn't know about, I was surprised when I read that it said that they finally brought like the one-stop shop on as far as the app goes, instead of creating everything individually because I just assumed that they always had that. Because usually iPad's the one that gets everything, but this time they was late to the party.
Well, that's kind of been the theme here for the last couple months with Apple.
Yeah.
They've been doing that with their phones. Now the iPads are finally getting caught up a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, it makes sense that you'd want to have that Office on your stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah, so
I don't use them, so I don't really. Doesn't affect me.
Right. So if you are looking for those, it comes with Word, Excel, and PowerPoint all built into one app. So if you go to the Apple App Store, iOS App Store, just look at Microsoft Office, and you'll be able to download the app and have all three products there available just a tap away.
Huh.
Are you a big Office user, Joe?
Yes. Actually, Cena and I, we subscribe to Office 365. I absolutely love it.
That keeps everything like synced across all your devices and everything?
Yeah, as far as OneDrive goes, yeah. And what I really like about it, the way Office 365 works for anyone that's not aware, is it's a yearly subscription, which I'm one of those, I'm kind of old-fashioned as far as I want to buy the license, I want to own the software, and I'm not going to sign up for a subscription. You're not going to, squeeze money out of me every year. Then here comes Microsoft Office. And with it, you pay your yearly subscription. I think we signed up early, so we got locked in at a lower rate. I think it's like up to like $12 a month now, but I think we locked in at $8. But it gives you Office for up to 5 devices, plus mobile capability, 1 terabyte of OneDrive storage.
Oh, wow.
And within the year, so we're on Office 2019 right now. If Microsoft releases Office 2021, we get that update for free. So we don't have to go buy another license. We just click update and we get it and we're good to go. So there's kind of a trade-off on that. And when I seen that, because at the time I was needing a new copy of Office, Cena was needing a new copy of Office, and I said, well, because I looked at the prices and it was going to be like about $500 to upgrade our devices. I said, well, at that price, we can get Office 365 and be done with it. And we've been doing that for several years now, and honestly, it's paid for itself.
Yeah. What do you think's in it for them? Were they trying to cut down on unauthorized licenses floating around out there, that people are stealing the software basically, and this keeps everything more clean and in a database for them? They can see that this is a real person using this. And
part of it, yes, and then another part of it is it's a steady cash flow. Because if you buy Office, let's say you buy the home and student version, you pay $150. Okay, they bought they got $150 out of you, and a lot of people, they'll run that until it just will not. I mean, they'll just transfer computer to computer to the point where they'll finally eventually buy a new computer where it won't run anymore, and then they'll have to go buy a new copy, but they'll run it forever. So they're losing money. At least this way, they have a constant, steady cash flow, and that's why a lot of these software companies are going this route, because they have found it's a steady cash flow for them.
Yeah, Adobe was doing the same thing. At one point, I was paying for Adobe Acrobat to use, and
yeah, they was the ones that kind of
around $10 a month or something like that.
Yeah, that's what they was the ones that actually started all this. And it's one of those, if you use the software a lot, then it's probably beneficial to get to pay the monthly subscription, because I know with Adobe, at least Photoshop, the if you try to buy the license outright, which they don't even do that anymore, but like before when they did, it was it was several $100s at least to get a license. At least with the subscription, it's cheaper. Plus, you get the newer versions and all the updates all packaged in.
They used to have those dongle things that you'd have to plug into your USB. That was like your little security device to say, I had some software like that.
Yeah, you had to have the security key with it. Yeah,
that was annoying. Having to plug something in to use a piece of software.
Yeah, honestly, I have not ran into that very much over the years, but now there are some customers that they've had older software, but it's not software like for everyday use. It's what they use for their business, that they still have those dongles, but it's been several years since I've had to actually deal with that, with the actual USB dongle. Well, we really went.
Yeah. I'm staying out of it.
Well, don't you use Office, Dave?
I do,
With
but
Patch?
it has nothing to do with me with the iPad.
Right.
But yeah, I use Office all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I have had customers use the open source versions like OpenOffice and LibreOffice and stuff like that. But just with what Cena and I use for so much, it's really hard for me to steer away from the Microsoft. Although I highly recommend those alternatives because that's saving you a ton of money. But I've just used it for so long, it's hard for me to.
We use it so much and so often. I mean, every day.
Right.
Every day I use it
Yeah.
constantly. So yeah, it's hard for me to go away from it. I'd never go steer away.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have it on an iPad because I don't have an iPad. But
We'll have to get you an iPad, then put it on there.
I'll pass. I'll just keep my laptop.
Did I hear you guys say something about a Microsoft Edge story?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's update number 2, as Justin led us into, Microsoft Edge. Joe.
Okay, so
Bam.
So this one I'm actually going to have to test myself, and I'm going to put it under a stress test. I haven't tested it yet, but Microsoft is starting testing a kids mode on its Edge browser. So parents can now block or approve websites, and Bing Safe Search will be active. So Microsoft is starting testing on a kids mode in its Edge browser to help protect children while they're navigating the web. The company, which created the mode primarily for kids aged 5 to 12, is rolling it out on to Edge insiders, testers, and the development and Canary channels. So you can enable kids through the Edge profile picker, and you won't need to set up a child account to switch it on, as Windows Central points out. Users will need to enter a password to exit the mode. You can set up an allow list of sites that your child can access and edit over time. If there's a website your kids want to visit and Microsoft's tech is blocking it, as long as you're happy to let them browse it, you can add the exception. Kids mode uses Bing Safe Search with a strict tracking prevention, and it offers custom browsing themes. Microsoft plans to keep improving kids mode by adding more features. So when I read this last night, Sadie's still pretty young. She's 4 now,
Right.
and she has the Kindle Fire Kids edition, and we that thing right out of the box is locked down to she can do very limited things, and she can do what she needs to do on it, and she's pretty tickled. So I'm not too worried about that, but I'm really impressed with Microsoft stepping up and saying, hey, we're going to start adding a little extra layers of protection, so if your kids need to get online, especially with all this e-learning and distance learning, stuff like that, don't worry. If anything, best case scenario, you can keep your kids on task. Worst case scenario, you can protect them from accidentally running into who knows what online.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's trying to get me to use it all the time. Microsoft Edge. And,
Yeah, I don't. Man, it's
I
so
can't
hard
quite
to.
switch over.
What's your opinion there, Joe?
When Edge
As
first
a tech guy, what do you use?
Chrome, but
Okay.
I'm a creature of habit also. When Microsoft Edge first came out, it was junk, it was useless, and it was kind of the running joke in the IT community for years. It used to be Internet Explorer, now Edge. The only job they was used for was to download Chrome.
Yeah.
But actually, Microsoft Edge has updated it within the last year to the point where its main engine and what it runs on now is based off of Chromium, which is an open source version of Google Chrome. So basically, Microsoft Edge is just a Google Chrome clone now.
We talked before about Chrome being kind of a resource hog. I wonder how Edge compares head to head with it.
Honestly, Justin, I haven't used it.
Yeah, like sometimes on my computer, like a PDF will open in Edge by default, and I won't notice at first, but then I'll be using it for a second. I'm like, something's weird. What's going on? And then I'm in Chrome, or I mean, not in Chrome. I'm in Edge.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Get this thing out of here.
Yeah, well, one of the big things I've ran into was the PDF viewer in Edge. I had a customer that they had, it was actually in a lawyer's office or a prosecuting attorney's office. They had a 150-page document they had to print off for court. They had to print like 3 copies of it. And it was really weird. It would start printing, and then somewhere around page 80 to 85, it would just start printing garbage. And 9 times out of 10, when it does that, it usually does it at the beginning of the job, not halfway through, and it usually means there's an issue with the printer. It wasn't. We narrowed it down. It was the Edge PDF viewer. Switch it over to Adobe, boom, print it out, no problem. So that when I seen that, I was like, yeah, that's another reason why I'm not using Edge. But actually, before the show, Dave and I was working on his computer. Dave was having some issues trying to access a website. And one of my troubleshooting things Cena ran into last week was she was trying to load Microsoft Office on a customer's computer and try to use it in Chrome, and it just would not work. Went to Edge, boom, worked just fine. Of course, Microsoft product, it should. So I was going to pull a trick out my sleeve and show Dave like I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So I tried launching it, and I told Dave, I said, here, let me try this. And I looked, and I thought it was in Chrome, but we was in Edge. So Edge looks so much like Chrome now, it's really hard to distinct the difference between the two if you're not really paying attention. I was paying attention, and it even fooled me.
Yeah, and I'm not totally sure why I'm just stuck on Chrome. I'm not like in
What?
love with it necessarily, but
I think it's familiarity and trust.
all your bookmarks are saved.
Yeah, I've been using it for so long now. I can't fathom going away from it.
Right.
Get your whole like profile kind of saved in there, and it starts making things easier for you. Just in terms of it already knows passwords for maybe some sites that you're not super concerned if somebody gets into. I know, Joe, you probably wouldn't want to hear that, saving passwords in your browser like that. But
Yeah.
Well, what I like is it just syncs all your favorites and stuff like that. So when you get a new computer, you just log in and boom, everything is there.
yeah, it's pretty convenient. Does Microsoft Edge offer something?
Yeah, I think
like
you
that?
can actually log in and import that kind of stuff now. Yeah, because I think you can.
I wonder if some of the other browsers will incorporate a kid-safe mode as well. I'm sure that
At this point,
won't be
they would
too long
almost
until they think
they would almost have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
can't get left out of that. Can't be.
yeah, I was surprised, and like I said, Sadie doesn't use it, but I'd actually like to, because she's like me. She likes to test the limits and stuff. So I'd like to set her down in front of it and say, okay, use it, and let's just see what happens, and see where the caveats are. Because there was a few years ago, there was a 3-year-old kid. He was playing his dad's Xbox, and his dad had all the parental controls set up. When all of a sudden his dad walks in and he's doing something on the Xbox. I had nothing that was way outside his restrictions, and his dad said, "What are you doing?" "Well, I'm doing whatever." And his dad asked him, he said, "Well, how'd you get there?" He said, "Well, I just did this." And his dad said, "You can't do that. I had the password on it." He said, "Oh, no. And the kid just sit there and hit zeros and hit like the A button or X button to show zeros and hit it like 50 times. If you did it 50 times, then boom, it would override it and it would completely bypass it. So they reported it to Microsoft, and Microsoft had actually put the kid's name on their website as a junior developer because he found a flaw in their software code.
The button mashing hacker kid.
Yes, so that's why I'd be interested to have Sadie just, all right, see what you can tear up and let her fly on it.
Huh. Well, in your professional opinion, do you think anybody will give Chrome a run for their money?
Now that Edge is running off Chromium, I'm anxious to see how this all pans out as far as people moving back over to Edge. And Firefox has always been right there with them. Firefox is like an open source community based browser, and they're always big on security as well, and they've always ran neck and neck with all of them. So between those three, I'm anxious to see how it all pans out. You really can't go wrong with any of the three.
Well, let me ask, is there a reason to go away from Chrome?
Personally, no, not at this point. Until they give me reason otherwise, I'm sticking with Chrome.
Unless
unless there's some
computer's a little slower, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, It's a known resource hog. Chrome is. I mean, that's my only issue with them. But at this point, I've ran Chrome for so long. It is, and I can navigate through Firefox no problem. But it's just I've been there so long. It'd be painstaking for me to move away.
Yeah, I mean that's the hard part. Once you're familiar with something, and like Justin said, you had all your bookmarks in there. Why go away?
Right.
But I guess Edge has to try something.
Right, but I mean, since this is pointing towards kids, they haven't locked into their old ways yet like we have.
Yeah.
So it would just be
that's true.
second nature to them. But I am impressed with Microsoft actually launching this kids mode. I'm anxious to see what all it offers and what's coming down the pike for them. So hats off to Microsoft. Actually impressed today that I'm actually had some good news from Microsoft. I'm usually bashing them overhead with a hammer. So this is a good day.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I Googled it real quick. This is saying Chrome is about 63% of usage on all browsers. Safari second at 19%, and then everybody else is like 3% or less.
Safari. Who uses Safari?
That's what I was going to ask. I'm surprised. I'm shocked to hear that it's number 2.
Yeah.
Because you talk about a useless browser.
Yeah. Freaking Apple.
And I'm not bashing iPhones. I'm just bashing the Safari browser itself. That thing's a pain in the butt.
Interesting.
All right.
I mean, at one point in ancient history, the Internet Explorer was top dog, and then they just.
I kind of remember Internet Explorer. I think I used it.
All right, so I'm going
There was
through.
Netscape back in
Yeah, I was going to say Netscape. I'm sure Justin remembers Netscape. Dave, do you remember Netscape?
Yeah. I mean, I remember it being there. I never used it. I did Internet Explorer and then switched to Chrome.
Honestly, and I'm really knocking the dust off of this one. I don't think Internet Explorer really ever had a fair fight even from the beginning, because I remember in school, like, the teachers and then going to the library, like the librarian saying, don't use this, use Netscape Navigator. It's so much better.
Yeah.
So Internet Explorer was doomed from go.
Huh. Interesting. All right. Well, news update number 3.
All right. So
LastPass?
Yes, LastPass.
I don't even know what that is.
Do you
Justin, are you shaking your head because you know what it is, Justin?
I do not know.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
Do you guys even listen to when I'm talking?
No.
I don't know. It depends.
Obviously not, because this is what I've preached at you guys for.
LastPass?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Your encrypted password manager instead of saving it in your browser.
I have one of those?
No, you don't.
Oh, okay. Well, then.
Because obviously you don't pay attention. I have this feeling, guys, for some reason I'm just talking to hear myself talk, just based on both your reactions. Justin, I was holding out hope for you, but
hey, it's 2-1 here, so I'm pretty sure you've never mentioned LastPass.
Okay.
Must have been 2 other guys who do a podcast.
It must be.
I'm almost positive I've never heard of LastPass.
So you've never heard of this software that I told you that you need to use it to.
You might have said there is a software, but I don't know that you said LastPass.
That it's a password vault where it saves all your passwords encrypted securely instead of saving it in all your browsers, and then that way it makes it easier for you to not use the same password on all the same websites. Is that ringing any bells?
Maybe.
Vaguely?
Vaguely. Maybe. That's a big maybe.
Okay.
Anyway.
You guys are killing me.
Job security, Joe. Job security.
Okay, so
this is true, though, because I probably text you once a month for a password for something.
Yeah.
Good thing you keep them.
Because I use LastPass.
All right, so explain LastPass to us again.
Okay, so LastPass is a secure and encrypted way for you to save all your usernames and passwords for all the websites you use, instead of having to remember them or have your browser save them insecurely. And it makes it easier for you, for security reasons. You're not supposed to use the same password on different sites, because if one site gets hacked, you can also possibly open up the gates to letting them access all the other websites using the same password. So LastPass is your password manager that lets save all those and makes it easier for you to remember. they have two options. They have a free plan and they have a paid plan. So this new story is going to revolve around their free plan. They're making some changes. So LastPass's free plan will make you choose between your computer or your phone. So before, with the free plan, you could use your password manager between your computer and your phone, but there were some limitations on what you could do with the software unless you paid the subscription fee. So this is actually going to start on March 16th. So the big change is you can, if you're using LastPass's free plan, you'll have to choose either to use it on just your phone or just your desktop, and it will actually let you change. And wherever you log in first on that, after that date, will determine which you use, either the mobile or the desktop version. And you'll have three chances to switch it back and forth between the two until it says, okay, you're locked into this platform unless you pay the subscription. And actually, guys, we use the paid version, and the subscription fee is not that bad. Right now, LastPass is offering a discount on their premium subscription for $2.25 per month, or $27 a year, and that's cheaper than their normal $3 a month for their subscriptions.
You're locked into that cheapo rate forever, or?
Well, the $3 that's their high end. That's
yeah.
The $3 a month. Yeah, we've been on that for several years now.
You said they're doing a discount?
Yeah, $2.25 a month.
Like a 1 year thing, or
until they lock you. I don't know.
It's 75 cents.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
A month, yeah, but for
Yeah, all right. So all right, even so
10 years,
12 less than $12. So
10 years,
you're saying like $8.
So Justin, you're really contemplating your security over $8.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about Dave and I each give you $4?
Okay, I like that.
Wait a minute. Why do I have to get drug into this? If he doesn't want to
Because you
pay,
don't pay attention.
if he doesn't want to pay to be secure, then that's on him. That's $8 that he's going to kick himself
but
for
you're sitting
later.
in the same boat as him, going, I had no idea what Joe's talking about, so that's your That's your penalty.
That's my penalty. I got to
Yeah.
pay for Justin's annual fee.
Hey, and y'all be glad I'm not making you pay the full $8.
Oh, I have a feeling I'm paying it one way or another.
Yeah, that's that miscellaneous line item you get on your invoice. Dave.
Whoa.
You just pay it,
Or
don't
just
ask
the
questions.
mental anguish that I'll hear about for the next 2 months. If you just had that program I told you about,
Yeah.
I think it's LastPass or something.
So this thing goes through and autofills everything for you?
Yes,
with one
that's-
master password?
Yes. So the way LastPass works is you have one password to unlock your vault, and
Better be a good one.
Yes. and you better remember it.
Yeah.
So that's the only password you have to remember is the password to your LastPass, and then you actually set up two-factor authentication.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have that password, and then you use your authenticator app to log in.
I've heard of that. You told me about that. Yep.
And then once you open it up, it's all there. And so, like, for example, you go to Facebook. When it goes to the login screen, if you're using Chrome, you just install the LastPass Chrome extension. And when you get to the login screen, it'll have a little box with a number.
Hold on. This is a good point.
Okay.
What is the deal with the Chrome extensions? Should you do it? Should you not do it? What's that mean?
It's a very slippery slope.
Okay.
A Chrome extension is an add-on to let your browser do extra things. And it can be good. It also can be bad. It literally depends on where you're getting these extensions from and what they actually do.
So they're different. It's not Chrome doing their own extension. It's an extension of another program onto Chrome.
Right. So, for example, you can get some extensions to pop up news updates, or you can have extensions give you weather alerts, or you can have extensions download viruses to your computer because it says it does this and it actually does that. Or in this case with LastPass, what it does is it sits there and monitors your browser session, and when it sees you get to a login screen, it'll look and check its database going, okay, do I have a login for Facebook? Hey, I have a login for Facebook, and it just automatically injects that information in. You don't have to type in your username. You don't have to type your password in. It just automatically pops it in. You click login, boom, you're ready to go. So that's where the convenience of it comes into play, plus the security of it's saved in LastPass and it's not saved in your browser. Plus, with it being saved in LastPass, you can download the LastPass app to your mobile device, and those passwords will be synced, and you can log in just as easily on your mobile device as well.
What happens if you want to, like, let's assume you're at a new computer
Mm-hmm.
or a different computer.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's assume I come over to your business, Joe, and I want to check my email real quick from your computer.
Okay.
LastPass has my password. How do I access it that way?
Very easy. You open your phone up,
Yeah.
go to the LastPass app.
Be careful because you're on camera.
I know.
Uh-huh.
And it'll pull up here, because now this isn't showing any private information.
Type in your password now. I
Yeah.
can see you.
Yeah. It has your list of your websites and all that.
Yeah.
And then you just click on that website, and then you have the option to launch, view, edit, show password. So you just click show password, and then
you'll have it that way?
Yeah.
Okay. So it keeps a running tally that you can access from
Yeah.
your phone.
Yeah, even in offline, make sure you check mark have it saved in offline mode. So then, if you're not connected to the internet, you can still open up LastPass on that device. And
Yeah.
Will
Cool.
it generate passwords for you, like make
Yes.
unique ones
yes,
to
it
make all your stuff real secure? Different ones for every site?
yes it has a random password generator, and you actually could go in there and say you can choose the length of it, 10, 20, 80, whatever, and then you can actually have check marks if you want uppercase, lowercase numbers, special characters, stuff like that, and then you just click copy password, and then when you're creating a new account, you just paste that password in there and click save. And then what's nice is when on Chrome, on the Chrome extension, or if you have the extension installed on any of your browsers, when you click save, it'll automatically pop up and say, hey, I noticed you created a new login for the site. Do you want LastPass to save it? Tell it yes, it's done. Or if you go and update your password, it'll pop up and say, hey, I noticed that you updated your password on this website. Do you want to update LastPass? And you just tell it yes. LastPass is updated.
Yeah, Chrome's been bugging me for a while about changing my passwords, but they're all for sites that are, I think we've talked about this before, sites I haven't been to for a long time, and passwords I don't use anymore.
Yeah, just don't do it. That password changing things baloney.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Joe's blood pressure just rocketed.
No, it's one of these. I'll get the last laugh because you will stand. Because when you guys get hacked, I will stand. I will get my soapbox out. I will polish it up real nice, and I will stand and I will preach a sermon. And we're talking one of these, snake handling. Get out the handkerchief and swipe a swift off your brow kind of sermons. I will preach for an hour at you, and you will sit through it.
Oh boy.
So if you're not a user of LastPass, as my co-hosts are, be sure that, like I said, they have the free version, so at least go try out the free version on your computer or your mobile device. And starting March 16th, you'll have to decide between the two, or do like I am and pay the $3 or at the discount $2.25, or if you can't catch a discount, $3 per month. It's well worth it. It's a very small price to pay for security.
Yep, I agree.
And this is just based off my personal use. LastPass is not a sponsor or endorsing this in any way. This is just from my own personal experience.
Okay.
So, Dave, now,
Yes.
is there any chance you're going to start using this within the next 6 months, or am I just talking to a wall?
Possibly. I'll say you got a 50-50 chance.
Probably 70-30 if I actually go down and create your account for you. And set it up.
The odds will tremendously go up if
If it
there's
just shows up on your
there's a
computer.
technology guy involved.
Because see, I still have faith in Justin enough as like, if we're sitting here talking about it, there's a pretty good chance that Justin will actually do it on his own, because I just talked him into doing the 2-factor authentication a while back. So I'm still holding out faith on you, Justin. Dave, I've already just thrown my hands up and gone.
Written me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate being brought into the future, kicking and screaming. It's a little tough, but I try to change my ways a little bit. Because the 2-factor, it's not annoying, but it is an extra step, and I'm okay with it. But It's pretty simple. It's literally just pops up there on the phone.
Yeah,
It says
yeah.
yes or no, and so it's not like
Yeah.
you said, Joe. Not too big of a.
It's a balancing act between security and convenience. It is a little inconvenient. I'll be the first one to tell you, yeah, it's a minor inconvenience. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, oh, it's the best thing ever, because I would love just to, log in and be done with it. But on the flip side of the coin, I also understand the reasoning behind it. Just just because I know people personally that did not set up two-factor authentication, and their Amazon account got hit, and they had like $2,000 worth of charges, and it was all stuff that Amazon basically told you you're out of luck on, like ebooks and stuff like that. And they said, "Oh no, you paid for that," and they're telling Amazon, "No, I didn't," and that was a whole ordeal. So it's like, if you'd have done what I told you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But I always end up with, "But what do I know? I'm just the IT guy."
Yeah. Why are you looking at me when you say that, Joe?
My mom can benefit from LastPass because she never knows any of her passwords, so it's an issue sometimes trying to get into sites that she hasn't been logging into for a while.
Well, and what I see a lot of people do is they'll write it down in a book, which is fine. But if you're, wherever you're saving it at gets broken into and somebody carries that off, I mean, more than likely somebody breaks in your house, they're going to steal your jewelry and stuff like that. I mean, the likelihood of them getting your password book is very slim. But what I find is some people will write their username, write the password down. And if they change the password, they won't scratch out the old one. They'll just write the new one either above it or below it, and they'll just fill up this whole page. So then when I say, well, what's your login? Here's the password. It could be one of these 20 passwords.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of these. Yeah, I've gotten that before. She's like, well, it's got to either be this or this or this or this.
And then you find out it's none of those. Oh, yeah, well, that's the one I changed last week. Try this. By that point, you've already locked their account up for 2 hours.
Yep. You doing a product review this week?
Yes. And
I'm still stuck on locked out of your account for 2 hours because I've been there.
Yep.
And then trying to track back through, and I don't know. Maybe there is something to this LastPass deal.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe there might be some actual convenience to it. All right, so you guys ready for the product review?
Yes, sir. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about the Wyze Lock.
Wyze comes up once again.
Yes. Well, I got an email yesterday from Wyze saying that they now have new colored smart bulbs.
Really?
Yeah. So not only can you get smart bulb, now you can get one with colors. So I was like, yep, so that's telling me that we're going to have to talk about Wyze tomorrow. So I thought, well, might as well make it worth our while and do a product review on Wyze.
Yeah. It's the Wyze Lock, is that what it's
Yes.
called? I'm going to pull it up here, just take a look.
Yeah. And how long have you had this, Joe?
I've had this since the beginning of December.
Okay, and I want to say that when I first talked to you, you said something about the batteries went dead quick or something?
Yes.
Was that the same product? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and actually I had that issue resolved, so we'll get to that.
Okay.
Do you have the keypad as well?
Yes. I'm actually going to save it for probably review it next week.
Okay.
Because it doesn't do a lot, but it would be a lot to try to talk about it and the lock. So the Wyze Lock, if anyone's not familiar with Wyze, first off, let's get this out of the way. They are not a sponsor. We talk about their products a lot. We love their products, but they are not in any way a sponsor. Now, Wyze, if you are watching or listening to this and want to sponsor us or send us some free products to test, we would absolutely love it and greatly appreciate it. Be more than happy to provide reviews. Just throwing that out there. So, the Wyze Lock, what this is, it is a deadbolt lock that it's a smart lock.
Right.
Which gives you the capability to lock it, unlock it, control it with your phone or mobile device or a tablet like that. And it gives you the ability, it gives you a lot more bells and whistles. And here's what's really nice, is you don't have to change out your current deadbolt. So you only have to change out the inside component that's inside your house, the actual manual turn of the deadbolt. Your outside part of the lock where you use your key and all that stays the same. So you don't have to change out keys. You don't have to buy new keys. You don't have to change out the lock completely. You just change the inside component of it, and you're ready to go.
Wow, that's smart.
Yeah, that's what sold. Well, I was sold on that whole idea, and then once I seen that, I was like, oh, that's perfect. That was just icing on the cake.
I was just thinking, we've got weather here. We're basically going through an ice storm. I was thinking, okay, an electronic deadbolt on the outside, the ice storm freezes it up. It might have some issues, but it's on the inside. It's not on the outside of your
Right.
house. Okay.
Well, my biggest issue was going to be having to go buy a new key, get new keys made, and all that. And I said, oh, this is going to be a pain in the butt. I'll deal with it. But then said, you keep your existing lock. I was like, oh, that's great. So then now if anybody comes up to the door that doesn't know about the new lock, they don't have any clue because your old lock's still there and it still looks the same. So love that part of it.
Yeah.
It also comes, one of the other features it comes with a list of features here, so we're going to go through all of them, has auto unlock capability. So it has a capability, so when it picks you up coming home, when it connects to your Wi-Fi network or based on your GPS location, it'll automatically unlock your door. So when you come home, you just walk up to your door, especially if you have an armload of groceries and don't have to fool with keys trying to get your lock unlocked, and then in the house you can just open the door and it unlocks. And it also comes with remote access. So for example, if I'm not home and Dave needs to stop out to pick something up or drop something off, he can call me and say, hey, I'm here. And I just open the app on my phone, unlock the door, Dave goes on in, or as soon as he shuts the door, I can lock it back or have it set to auto lock. It also has auto lock capability. Now this feature we use, and you guys have both seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
As soon as you shut the door automatically locks behind you without issue. That's one thing I really like about it. Door position detection. Now this one is pretty neat, and when I first set it up, it was I didn't really know what I was doing as far as trying to get it set up, so then I had to reset it. But the door position detection will notify you if the door is either 1, been left open too long, or 2, if someone broke into your home, you get an immediate notification on your phone that says door jam's been kicked open or something like that. It immediately notifies you, hey, something's going on with the door.
Yeah.
It also has view lock history. So this is one of the things I really like. Like I said, we have the keypad, which I won't get into too much detail on that, but I can see who all has accessed that door because I have it set up for myself, Cena, my mom and dad, Bethany that works for us. We each have our own ways of getting in.
Right.
And I can go back and say, okay, yeah, here's who came in when. I mean, for us, it's no big deal, but it is kind of nice just the convenience of, okay, yes, this person came here, and here's what times they came in. And it's voice controlled. So if you have an Amazon Echo, all you have to say is, Dave, use the trigger word for the Amazon Echo.
Play that song.
No, it's
Alexa.
Okay, Alexa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hungry like a wolf. Full volume. I get confused because we haven't done that one for a while.
Yeah. I had to knock the dust off of that one.
Well, I was thinking Siri, but I knew that wasn't right.
Yeah.
But hey Siri, hungry like a wolf. Full volume. So we'll do both.
There you go.
Just hit all our bases.
There you go.
I don't have any of those. So what's the other one?
Which one?
Siri's a Google one, right?
No, Siri is Apple.
Apple.
For Google, you just say, hey, Google.
And Alexa's...
The Echo. Let's see, they just kicked off my Google.
Yeah. Hey, Google, hungry like a wolf. Full volume.
So...
Okay. Yeah, I can't keep them straight. I don't have any of them. I don't use any of them, so, I don't care.
So you can actually use the Amazon Alexa voice assistant to actually auto lock or unlock your doors if you're inside your home without having to actually go get up and deal with it or open the app on your phone.
Do you use that then, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, because I don't have...
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you don't have that. Okay.
And
do you like it? So, hold on, go back. So did you use the phone unlock like you have it? How does that work off of Bluetooth?
The lock actually it comes with a little base station that it plugs into the electric outlet and connects to your Wi-Fi network. That's how it. So it works off of Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So and the lock itself runs off batteries. It runs off 4 AA batteries.
Right.
And that's where you and I was talking. Where you mentioned that I was having issues at the beginning.
Yeah.
So when we first got the lock, I installed it, put the batteries in. About 4 days, the batteries went dead. I thought, this is bull.
Yeah.
If I'm having to buy batteries every 4 days, I actually went and bought rechargeables. I thought, I'm not spending a fortune on batteries. So I put those in, and I replaced them in December, about 4 days into it, and here we are. We're recording on February 17th, still running off those batteries.
Did you put batteries in that Sadie had already previously used the first time?
Now, these are fresh right out of the...
Huh. So you think it's just bad batteries?
I think so. I mean, these came with the locks. I mean, these weren't... And they were actually Duracell batteries, which shocked me. I mean, these weren't some kind of overseas import that you don't know what they are. These were actual Duracell. So they may have just gotten a bad batch. But it connects to the Wi-Fi, so you can do it remotely. Or if you come home and find out your power's out, which the way this ice storm's been going, it'll actually connect via Bluetooth, so you can still unlock your phone or unlock your door with your phone over Bluetooth if you come home and find out that your house has no power. Or you can always use your key as well, so unless you just leave your key in the house and your batteries go dead, I mean there is a very small chance you still find yourself locked out, but it'd be next to impossible for you to find yourself completely locked out when you get home.
Well,
yeah.
Like you said, that could possibly arise if you left your keys and your phone inside and it auto-locked behind you when you
Okay,
left.
yes, I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
I ran in that exact situation when I was hooking up the keypad. I had my phone in the office, and I set the key down. No, I didn't set the key down. I left the key down at the house because I've got the key right here. So I set my phone on in the office and literally picked my drill up, walked out the door, shut the door behind me. Man.
Yeah.
So I walked. And so I walk in the house and he goes, "Wait on." I said, "Gotta lock the door." She said, "Don't you have your phone?" I said, "It's in the office." I said, "It's secure. Nobody can get in now." So yes, I have done that.
And then she was able to unlock it for you with her phone? Or
yeah, she was yes, I told her, I said, "Get on your phone, please, and let me in." So she had unlocked and...
Did she make you do any chores first or anything?
Well, I was putting in the keypad,
Yeah.
so that was all I needed to...
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah,
But yes, I
nice
have
backup.
locked myself out.
Having that keypad is a little fail-safe.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea. If you're a person that would do such a thing.
Now, it also has a feature called Take Out the Trash Mode, where if you go to if your door auto locks, you can actually do a lock, unlock, and unlock, and then it'll just keep it unlocked for a certain period of time, so you can actually go out, take the trash out, shut the door, and then come back in, and the door will still be unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
So when we set it up, the setup is it's insanely simple. Me being I'm going to do it my way and I don't need instructions, I started installing the door and ran into a couple issues. Still only took about 45 minutes, and then I went back and looked at the instructions and seen where I was trying to put one of the mounting brackets on backwards. And once I figured out I was putting it on backwards, I was like, hey, this fits a whole lot better. But still, it took me about 45 minutes, like I said, with me not reading the instructions. So if you actually read the instructions and pay attention to the pictures, Wyze the same within 15 minutes install time, 30 minutes at most.
Huh.
And once you do that, if you have to use the app, the Wyze app, which is free. It walks you through the entire calibration, which is extremely simple. They want you to lock the door, unlock it, lock it again, unlock it. And that's to calibrate how far it needs to turn for the deadbolt. And then for the door detection, it tells you to open the door all the way, shut the door, open the door all the way, shut it, and then just barely open it so it can tell you if somebody's messed with the door or not. So the setup is extremely simple.
Nice.
Especially the calibration.
So I had one of the slang, whatever it's called.
Schlocks.
Slocks, yeah, whatever. one of those deals.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the keypad 'cause I never have to carry around a key anymore.
Right.
But that's only applicable if you have like the newer style doors.
Yes.
Yeah. So, interesting stuff.
Yeah, Wyze says that they're compatible with most.
Oh yeah, I mean you can
most deadbolts.
Yeah, you can cut one in. Even if you didn't have one, you cut one in and be easy to do.
Right.
Not fairly easy if you have a drill.
Drill and a little time and know-how.
Yeah, there you go.
We were just talking about two-factor authentication. That's something they show here on the website. So, that someone couldn't, in theory, like come up with some device and hack your lock and open it, because they still would need that.
Yes.
That's like you might get it in the worst case scenario. You'd be in bed and something would pop up on your phone saying, "Is this you trying to get into the house?" And you'd say no, and then but still you'd have to have some serious hacking skills to even be able to.
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, Wyze made sure security itself is fully secure. They're using AES 128-bit encryption, which is a very strong encryption. They're actually using hardware encryption as well, so the lock helps the software stay secure. So the hardware and the software are working together to make sure everything's locked in and secure. And then the two-factor authentication on the Wyze app, so only those authorized are able to use the Wyze Lock. So you have to actually use the Wyze app, and then the two-factor authentication comes into play through the Wyze app.
This says it's weatherproof. Is that, in theory, you could put it on the outside of a door, or would you? I guess you wouldn't necessarily want to.
Yeah, there's really not a need to put it on the outside of the door. Now, that might be referring to the keypad.
Okay. Yeah, it is. Yep, that's right.
Yeah, now the keypad, I have it outside, and so far through this ice storm and all that, it has stood through that so far. So far so good on that.
Nice, and the batteries are lasting longer.
Yes.
Okay. Pros, cons?
All right, pros.
Pros. Roll out the pros, Joe.
How easy it is to install and calibrate. I mean, I cannot stress that enough. I'm far from being Tim the Tool Man as far as and Bob Vila. I know the guy, but that I'm nowhere near those top level home
now,
repair guys.
Did you already have a deadbolt hole you replaced?
Yes.
Okay, so you didn't have to drill or anything.
No, I just replaced the inside lock of
Gotcha.
my deadbolt with this. So if I can do it, trust me, there's a very small chance if you're watching or listening to this that you cannot do it, because trust me, I'm far from being a handyman.
Yeah.
And another pro is you're able to keep your existing outside lock, so you
Right.
don't have to fool with the new keys and all that. So that was a big pro for me. The auto lock / unlock feature, absolutely love. Cannot say enough good things about it. Like Justin pointed out, the only issue I ran into is the one time I actually did lock myself out, but
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I cannot say enough good things about it. And the app features, hats off to Wyze on the app features. The lock capability, the unlock capability tells you the status of the door, if the door is still open or shut. It gives you the history of who's came in and out, when the door's been locked or unlocked manually, or someone's tried to access it. And it has, and I don't know if you guys actually heard it or not, if you've been out there and we had the door open long enough, but you can actually set a timer on there, so then if the door's set open for a certain amount of time, it'll actually start going off. A little beeping noise will go off to remind you, hey, you left the door open. Shut the door. So you can actually set a timer on that as well.
Nice.
Can I jump in with one question real quick?
Sure.
I wonder, we talked about the Wyze band. I wonder, is there any sort of sync with your band?
No.
Could you sync it to your watch instead of your phone?
No, there's no sync between the band and the door lock, but there is a new Wyze watch coming out, so I'm anxious to see if there's any integration between those two.
Okay.
So stay tuned on that. I don't have the Wyze watch, but a buddy of mine is getting one. He has one on pre-order, so I told him, I said, let me know when you get it. I said, so we need to test it. So
Yeah.
of course, I'm sitting here talking like it's really expensive. I think it's like $20 or $25. I mean, it's Wyze, come on, but still.
It's Wyze.
Yeah. So those are all the pros on that.
Okay, and your con list?
The cons, only have 2 cons.
Okay, that makes it easy.
Yeah, and one con I've actually experienced. The other con's what I've read complaints online about.
Right.
So the only con I've ran into is what I'm referring to as the door open too long glitch. And I ran into this twice, and it's a known issue because the first time I ran into it, I've read where other people are experiencing the same issue. So here's what happens. The door's open, the door alarm goes off saying, hey, you've left the door open too long. And if you leave it, and that little alarm goes off for about a minute. Well, the door was open, 5-10 minutes after that alarm goes off. Went to shut the door didn't auto lock.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, okay. I thought, well, I'll just lock it through the app. Open up the Wyze app. It says the door's still open. The door is shut.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'll just go manually lock it, unlock it, and that ought to free everything up. Nope. Still says door wide open.
So no kind of like auto reset then.
Yeah. So I was like, well, that's weird. So I actually went through and recalibrated everything, and that seemed to fix it. Well, then 2 weeks ago, and it doesn't do it often. I mean, like I said, it did it. This makes the second time we've had it since December. The other week before last, Cena and I, we walked out and shut the door. It didn't lock, and it was right after somebody left the door open too long kind of deals.
Yeah.
I thought, well, that's weird. So I thought, well, I'm going to try something this time. So I went to the actual keypad and put in my unlock code. And on the keypad, you actually can either lock or unlock. So I punched in my code and hit lock. Well, it locked it, and that synced everything back. So I was like, am I just lucky that time, or is that the fix for it?
Right.
So I don't know. That one I still have a question mark on. But the issue where, for whatever unknown reason, it goes out of sync, and there's no guaranteed way of getting back in the sync. That's a known issue with the Wyze Lock, and there's several people online that's reported they've had issues with that.
Interesting.
So it's not a big con, but it's just a minor annoyance.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you have to go through that a lot though, then that'll quickly become a big con, I think.
But I mean, that from what I've read, the people haven't experienced it a lot. Like, it's one person have had it. Here's what I did to fix it, and they moved on. So it wasn't like it was a constant issue, but it is a known issue.
Interesting.
So another issue some people are complaining about is, and this I have not had issues with this. Of course, I don't use this feature. Is the auto unlock feature? I use the auto lock, but not the auto unlock. And some users are experiencing issues with the auto unlock. They'll come home and their phone will connect to the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth and all that, but yet their door still will not unlock. So it kind of defeats the whole purpose of the auto unlock, is when you come up the door with your armload of groceries.
Yeah.
Bang! You still have to. You have to set the groceries down and deal with that situation. So that's.
Well, when you get to that point, if it won't auto unlock, what are your options? Just keypad in.
Keypad in. Manually unlock with your phone, or break out your key.
Okay, so your phone will still manually unlock it.
Yeah.
It just won't automatically.
Yeah,
unlock.
for some unknown reason, it just won't auto unlock. It'll still manually unlock it. Yes.
Interesting.
But like I said, I haven't experienced that because I don't have the auto unlock feature, because the way we have it set up, I don't need it to auto unlock. I need it to auto lock, but not auto unlock. So I don't have that issue.
Well, I'm just curious. Why don't you have an auto unlock enabled?
Security reasons. Because where I'm using it, it's not. I have it at the office, and I don't want to come home and it auto unlock the office door.
While you're not actually going in?
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Because if I'm sitting at the house, I don't want it to unlock the office door.
Gotcha.
And just leave it wide open.
Huh. Okay. Those are the only 2 cons?
Yeah.
By golly.
And I've only had one of them, so we're good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, overall, let's get your overall feeling, overall rating here.
Okay, so
Joe's 5-star rating, famous 5-star rating.
Based off 5-star rating, guys, I got to give this one a solid 4.
Okay.
I so wanted to give it a 5, but when I ran into that door lock glitch, I was like, anything
like that's going to take away from a 5 for sure.
Yeah. So Wyze, unfortunately, I'm going to say, is this my lowest rating on a Wyze product?
Well, I know you had some 4.5s on some stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the lowest rating I've had on a Wyze product.
That's all right, though. That's a realistic.
Yeah.
That's a good.
But that
revisit it. It doesn't happen again in 6 months. Maybe you bump it up to 4.5.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, but hats off to Wyze though. I mean, for this to be my lowest rating yet and still 4 stars, I mean that kind of stands behind their product.
And what all do you have? I know you got.
I had the regular Wyze camera, the version 2 Wyze cam. I had the pan camera. I had the Wyze band. I had the Wyze thermostat, the Wyze lock, the keypad.
How's the Wyze thermostat doing?
Stay tuned for the review. I don't want to spoil it.
I'm tempted to get one of those.
Okay, Okay, Dave. So no spoilers.
Yeah.
But let's put it this way: I have not replaced it. I've installed it, but I have not replaced it with. What was that?
I don't know.
I installed the Wyze thermostat, but I've not replaced it with a different thermostat. I'll put it that way.
Huh.
You may have said this already, but about $100 for the lock. Correct?
Yeah.
How
the
much
lock,
is the keypad?
$20.
Okay.
So
Should be the review coming on that.
Yeah, so $120 gets you set up with the whole gear, but if you want just the lock's $100. But I actually caught it. The reason I have both was I caught it on Black Friday. They had it for sale. If you bought the lock, you got the keypad for free. I was like, well, there's a no-brainer. So that and Cena said, yeah, go for it. So that was.
If you're like a busy person, you're like coming in and out of a place that you want locked a lot. It seems like it would be a big time convenience and make your life a little easier. Just if you're like leaving once for the day and then coming back once and locking, maybe it's not as big a deal, but still a nice thing to have.
Right. Well, with our setup with our office, like I said, we have Bethany works for us. I have her set up with her own access, so I don't have to worry about making an extra key and leaving a key out or all that kind of stuff. It's
the key under the flower pot people used to do.
Yeah. Yeah, so from just the security alone, and that way she has her access to get in and out of the office as she needs. And, you know, if Cena and I, for whatever reason, aren't there and she needs to get into the office, she's freely to do so. And so it's very nice.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's a good review, and Wyze has always been some of our favorite products, which is great to see. I really like their deal. But if anybody has any questions, as we get closing in here on our podcast, if they got any questions for you, Joe, how do they get a hold of you?
You give us a call at our office at 304-927-3588. Check out our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com. And for all the show notes and all that, I've been working on all of our show notes for our old episodes. You can go back through and look at our show notes and links and all that under our A&M Digital Technologies blog. So be sure to check out for all that. Or be sure to subscribe to us online. We are on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at AM Digital Tech for all that. Or be sure to subscribe to the podcast, Help Desk with Dave and Joe. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and anywhere you can find your favorite podcast. And if we're not on your favorite podcast platform, let us know and we'll be sure to get it added.
There you go. All right. Well, you've been listening here in Spencer, West Virginia to our Help Desk with Joe show. This is show 50.
Big 5-0.
Big 5-0. So next landmark, I guess, will be 100. But we'll keep plugging away, and we're here with Justin and Joe, as always. And thanks for tuning in here to Patch Turned Up, our internet radio station, along with all the other stuff we do. And, of course, the show is sponsored by A&M Digital Technologies, our local hometown business here, taking care of all our technology needs. And we appreciate you tuning in this week. So we'll be back next week for more. So thanks for joining us. And stay warm, I guess. Stay safe on these slick roads. It is wintertime. And I don't know. Next week, we have any precursors to next week, Joe? Hard to tell what will happen in a week, though.
Oh, yeah, as far as news goes. But I think next week, as far as product reviews, we'll cover the Wyze keypad.
Ooh, okay. All right, good deal. So there you go. More Wyze coming your way. All right. So, again, this is David, and I'm here with Justin and Joe. We're tuning out until next week.